The relevance of the walls of Jericho falling down flat is the fact that in the Old Testament they didn't have the Bible. So God always gave them experiences for them to remember Him, because He would just fall the walls of Jericho flat and they will forget what He did. But by the time they walk around it every day once, and on the seventh day, 7 times, they will remember the experience. But they didn't have the Bible like we have it. You can read and just check, okay, we check, okay, this is what God did. So they didn't have it. So the experience was the teacher. So that's why they had to do that. And also the second relevance of why they had to do that is because God created the world in 7 days. It wasn't on the 7th day. The world, Jericho represented the type of the world and God's operations in the world. So in the spirit realm, there's what we call biblical similitudes, or the spirit of adumbration, meaning that there are always types and shadows to connect into spiritual realities. If God does not create a physical authorization of something, that thing can happen spiritually. God must create a physical background of that thing to energize His power through that physical thing, which is a form of faith. So Hebrews 11 says that faith is a small of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, meaning that faith is that thing that you're looking for. If you want a car now, you don't have a car now, but what you have is faith. What faith says that faith is the car. So if you have faith, you have the car. So faith says you already have it, it's already done. Now if you link that with the walls of Jericho falling down flat, it means that God had to create a form of faith to trigger His dunamis power. Dunamis means God's power that is idle, not active. Like a volcanic eruption that is not active, it's just dormant. That's how God's power is. God's power can be inactive until you energize it by faith. So walking around Jericho 7 times, on the 7th day and once every day, is just a physical adumbration to energize God's power. God must see that physical adumbration for His power to be energized to do what He wants to do. Even the occultic realms do it. They'll tell you, go and bring this, bring that. All that is just faith so that Satan's power can be energized. It's the same thing with the walls of Jericho falling down. They had to do that ritual so that God's power can be energized. So two reasons. Number one, it was their own Bible, and number two, it was a point of contact for God's power to be energized. So there are all types of faith. Yes.